May mga opisyal tayo ng gobyerno na nangangalaga specifically po sa mga kapakanan ng ating mga OFW saan man sa mundo. Mula po dito sa Central Park sa New York ng Estados Unidos ng Amerika para po sa Pilipinas Online, Bantay OCW, hatid sa inyo ng Inquirer.net. Ako po si Susan K.
Bantay OCW. Bantay OCW. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a gambling problem? To know more about PAGCOR's responsible gaming program, including its player exclusion program, visit www.pagcor.ph/regulatory/responsible.ph. A message of concern from the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation.
Sabi natin may mga welfare officers na itinatalaga ang ating pamahalaan na siyang nangangalaga sa ating mga kababayan saan man sa mundo. At syempre mula po sa Migrant Workers Office ng ating Philippine Embassy mula sa Washington, D.C., makakasama natin ang ating welfare officer, May Codilla. Ma'am May, kumusta?
Hi, Miss Susan.
Saan ba tayo nagkita?
Yeah, I think sa Cebu. You were introduced by our former regional director.
Oo nga.
Kasi galing po ako ng OWA Region 7.
Hindi talaga ng mundo, no?
Oo.
Pagkatapos ngayon, nandito na tayo. Kumusta ba? Ano ba mga welfare cases dito?
Mostly talaga, ang iniisip talaga nila kapag United States of America, walang welfare cases.
Oo.
But meron namang konti as what the labor attaché has mentioned, no? Yung mga domestic workers natin na employed by the mga foreign diplomats or international organizations. Merong a few cases lang na hindi sinusunod yung contract, but then meron namang tulong or suporta yung government din ng US. Merong mga NGOs din tumutulong. But recently, we have these cases on possession of child pornography among
yan ang pinaka-latest. Okay, oo.
among seafarers in the cruise ship.
Oo.
So sa Florida ito kasi karamihan ng mga cruise ships nandun sa Florida. With the digital technology ngayon, madidetect sa system na merong na-upload, merong na-open na link, na there are certain applications, merong mga mga videos na ifo-forward and then kung ma-open, they have a way of detecting na merong kang ino-open na files or videos.
Sadyang ino-open yun o baka naman disgrasya na na-open lang?
It can be sadya or it can be accidental, no? Out of curiosity or something. But I think we need our Filipino seafarers most especially, not only seafarers, I think all our overseas Filipino workers should know about this. Kasi even in our pre-departure orientation seminar, it is always emphasized na you have to be careful. Ano yung do's and don'ts in each country? Ano yung mga laws? Ano yung mga dapat bantayan mo? At talaga namang bawal yung mga pornographic materials or pornography, especially dito sa US. Meron talaga silang guidelines, sentencing guidelines na sinusunod. If it would depend on how many videos, ano yung content ng videos, ang tinututukan talaga nila is yung videos involving minors. Yun talaga. When they dock, kung yung ang cruise ship mag-dock, meron na mga authorities malaman na nila na meron na nag-upload. Or parang yun nga ang sinasabi ko. Or they use the internet or the Wi-Fi of the cruise ship. Siguro meron ng security features doon.
Parang gusto niyo sabihin na pwedeng nangyayari yung crime na yon habang naglalayag pa yung barko.
Yes.
So bago sila dumaong doon,
Yes.
alam na kung sino yung may-apprehend nila.
And there are times na siguro they have this really campaign and then they would search yung meron na silang suspetsya na meron nang na-upload or nag-review ng mga videos na ganun, no? So that's why our Migrant Workers Office of Washington, D.C. to our labor attaché, mini-meeting na yung mga manning agencies because na-concernan talaga kami kasi nagkasunod-sunod na. And parang hindi alam yung parang implication kasi sabi nila nag-view lang naman kami, yung parang ganon. Matagal na yun namin na-view, parang ganon. Matagal na namin na-view, hindi ko lang na-delete yung videos or files.
Dahil hindi nila alam na bawal.
Yung parang ganon. But they don't know the implication kasi what the government is trying to say sa US is, if you patronize these videos, you're actually condoning the mga child traffickers, these people producing these videos, if you also view these videos.
So anong nangyari po doon sa mga kababayan natin?
So ngayon, meron tayong 6 actually who are under detention, no? Are facing charges. Ongoing pa rin yung cases, but under the US judicial system, may public defender system talaga. Automatic talaga yon na merong i-assign na public defender. So sa Migrant Workers Office at saka OWA, we are trying to monitor the case, talk to the public defenders, talk to these seafarers, because they have this communication system that they can call us actually, but we cannot call the detention facility. But there's this technology, communication, parang platform in each detention facility that the inmates or the prisoners can communicate to their Philippine embassies or our offices.
Pero Ma'am May, once charged, ano yung pwedeng punishment niya?
Yeah, it would depend on content, volume, iba yung possession, iba din yung production. Kung sinishare mo yung videos, parang it would papato yun sa sentence mo. So, meron silang sinusunod na sentencing guidelines. For example, siguro na ganito yung case, possession of child pornography, at yung merong number of years sa sentence. It can be 5 years,
Ay.
it can be more,
Oh.
depending on the gravity.
Pero hindi ito ang first time na may na-charge na.
No. Nung naabutan ko, I was here in 2021, there was already one Filipino seafarer that was already sentenced, I think 7 years. Possession yon at saka sharing din ng videos, child pornography.
Grabe pala yun, ano?
Oo. And then, meron din tayo actually 2 teachers na under an H-1B visa, work visa yon, na possession of child pornography din. So that's why, going back, the Migrant Workers Office, through our labor attaché, has met all the manning agencies kasi nire-remind namin sila to strengthen yung pre-departure orientation seminar. Although yung OWA, merong pre-departure orientation seminar, but that's a general PDOS for all, whether land-based or sea-based. But ini-emphasize pa rin dyan na dapat kayo, when you go to a foreign country, you must be aware kung ano yung do's and don'ts. Kasi iba-iba yung ano. But what we've learned, this is also being disseminated to our seafarers when it comes to the U.S. No. At the same time, we are trying to ask their support. But maybe these foreign principals or cruise ship companies can also provide parang legal counsel, or not really in defending the case of the seafarer, but yung sa first pa lang na kapag ini-investigate, na mabigyan mo lang ng advice kung anong gagawin, to be aware of their rights, no? So, yun ang ginagawa natin.
So ito pong 6 na seafarers natin, nasa ang stage pa lamang?
May 2 na waiting for sentencing. Merong arraignment pa lang ang gagawin.
Gaano po kabilis ba yan?
I wouldn't really say how many months or years, no? But so far, iba-iba kasi. Isang court na mabilis yung judge, yung gano'n.
Okay.
But not, yung iba naman mabilis yung pag ng kaso.
Pero ma'am, automatic yan ha, baba agad sila, kukunin talaga sila sa barko.
Yes, oo.
Hindi na pala makakauwi.
Once they already discover, merong hawak na nila yung mga ebidensya. Yung iba, merong search warrant, no? Makikita sa cellphones nila, sa laptops nila, sa hard drive nila, USB. So, kung gaano kadami yung video materials, I think gaano kadami yung content ng materials, parang
Ganon din kabigat yung kanyang
ganon kabigat
sentensya.
yung parang ganon.
Antindi. At pwede rin sabihin na pag ito po yung nasentensya na wala ng chance na bumalik ng Amerika?
In most cases po, hindi sila makabalik ng US.
Yan pala ang problema ng ating mga seafarers. And
Yeah, sa
sakop pa
cruise
rin yan
ships,
ng
oo.
inyong tanggapan dito
Yes.
sa Amerika. Sa cruise ship ito.
Oo, sa cruise ship siya.
Pero yung pasahero, yung mga pasahero, paano? Kung cruise ship naman ito, o sakop din ng US law yun? Kung may nag-review ng ganyan?
Yes,
talaga?
po. Kasi this is not only for foreign nationals, pati po rin yung mga citizens po nila. Ano sila ngayon, they are intensifying their campaign against that.
Wow. So, nangangahulugan lang, sinasabi niyo sa Pilipinas, palakasin yung ating mga PIDOS.
Yes.
Pre-departure Orientation Seminar.
then-
Kasama yan, ma'am. Yang issue na yan.
Yeah. Our labor attaché is now, they have already drafted this advisory to be disseminated to all the manning agencies, then yung sa mga PIDOS providers natin para ma-reminded yung ating mga seafarers at other OFWs din on this this kind of cases.
Okay, yan yung mga kaso ng seafarers.
Oo.
Kumusta naman po sa land-based? Ano usually yung mga encounter nyo dito?
Not so much sa US, but maybe in the Caribbean islands.
Caribbean.
But more on repatriation cases naman, no? Repatriation for distressed workers kasi wala na yung mga employers nila or the employers wouldn't repatriate them, no? And repatriation of medical cases, yung namatay. 40% of the welfare cases siguro dyan sa Caribbean, yun, more on repatriation. Especially during yung aftermath ng COVID pandemic, marami kasing distressed workers na nawalan talaga ng trabaho. For so long a time, di nakabalik, and then yung naghahanap sila ng employers, yung ganon, wala talaga silang makuha na permanent na trabaho. So, nagpatulong sa atin na ma-repatriate. Or meron naman na recruited to third country, hindi dumadaan ng Department of Migrant Workers or POA noon, no? So, yun, hindi alam na yung employer has the responsibility to repatriate kung ano mang nangyari. So, kapag hindi sinasagot ng employer at walang recruitment agency sa Pilipinas, then that's where the government comes in. Kung uunahin kasi natin yung employer to ask the employer to provide for the repatriation ng repatriation ticket ng OFW. Kung hindi talaga, then that's the time we come in.
Welfare Officer May, sa dami din naman ng mga pinaglingkuran ninyo po sa mga bansang napuntahan ninyo. Dito sa Amerika, iba naman dahil malakas na ipinatutupad yung batas.
Yes.
And paano nakikinabang dyan ang ating mga Pilipino?
So, ang dito naman sa US, I think the challenge would be yung reintegration, no? Although, most of them, yung long-term plans nila, they would want to stay here permanently, no? But sa OWA naman, we have this reintegration preparedness program. So, pinalakas namin yung reintegration. Kahit pa siguro, yung long-term plans nila is dito talaga stay, but eventually, babalik din yung Pilipino sa atin eh. So, whether you are, kasi meron tayong forced repatriation or yung uuwi na for good o magre-retire. So, we help yung gobyerno naman. We provide support services kung paano nila ma-prepare yung sarili nila for their eventual return to the Philippines or kung magre-retire na sila. So what we're doing is yung financial literacy campaign natin. Ongoing talaga yan, regular yan. We provide financial literacy seminars, no? Giving them practical tips or strategies paano i-manage yung finances nila, especially that they're earning more here in the US. And we provide them seminars on how they're gonna invest their savings, no? We invite speakers from the Philippines, from different government agencies, kung paano nila i-invest yung pera nila, no? We have been doing that in partnership with Bangko Sentral, yung ating Department of Trade and Industry, yung Department of Agriculture. Kasi karamihan ng mga OFWs nandun talaga sa Caribbean. We also encourage them kung ano ba yung skills training na while they are still there, working on-site, anong gusto nilang mga skills training na pwede nating gawin na magagamit nila when they go home, and parang magamit nila yung skills for entrepreneurial activities or undertakings, no? So, pinoprovide din natin, part din yan sa ating reintegration.
So nandito pa lang, nasa Amerika sila nagsisipagtrabaho, inihahanda na ninyo para sa
Yes.
kanilang pagbabalik. Sinasabayan ba ito ng kanilang mga kapamilya?
Actually,
Sa
back
Pilipinas
home,
na? Oo.
meron din tayong financial
Sabay na
literacy
rin.
seminar sa
Oo,
mga
oo.
families. That is also an ongoing program natin sa OWA po.
Ito naman po ay sinusuportahan, tinatangkilik ng mga
Yes.
kapamilya.
Even from the start, bago pa aalis yung OFW, sa pre-departure orientation seminar natin, nandun yung financial literacy na ini-encourage na you have to have a financial plan, and kasama yung pamilya in planning, no? Kung anong gagawin sa remittances.
Paano nyo ma'am ginagawa itong mga programang ito? Face-to-face mo pa, pumupunta sila sa ating embahada or kayo ang nag-outreach?
During the COVID pandemic and after that, palagi tayong nag-o-online, no? But starting last year, nag-face-to-face talaga. Kasi iba talaga kapag may physical presence, no?
Opo, opo.
Face-to-face. So, wherever we go, kung meron kami mga outreach, may info and service caravan yung Migrant Workers Office, OWA, we always incorporate financial literacy seminars. And we also encourage our Filipino organizations in the Caribbean to also suggest ano yung gusto nilang i-provide namin or i-conduct namin na mga skills training or other capability building seminars.
Ano ba profile ng ating mga workers doon?
Yung sa hotel, yung hospitality sector, yung sa hotel and resorts, meron din tayo mga domestic workers doon, no?
Oh.
Although they're earning relatively mataas kaysa compare sa Middle East
Opo,
natin ng
opo,
mga domestic workers. Meron ding mga accountants, meron ding a few healthcare workers, no?
Pero ma'am doon, may option na dali ng pamilya o wala?
Merong iba na
Meron
madala nila yung madala nila yung family nila.
Marami rin ang uuwi, babalik ng Pilipinas.
Oo.
So nagre-renew na lamang ng kanilang mga kontrata.
Yes.
Okay.
As far as OWA is concerned, we are also focusing on reintegration preparedness for our OFWs.
Yan ang direction ninyo.
Oo.
Sa itong 2024 hanggang sa mga susunod na mga
Yes.
taon. Alright ma'am, may mga paalala ka o panawagan sa ating mga kababayan na nandito na po sa Amerika at yung mga nagbabalak pa na magtungo sa Amerika at syempre pa, i-address natin yung ating mga kapamilya sa Pilipinas.
We would just like to remind our overseas Filipino workers, especially those who are OWA members po, to renew your OWA membership so that you can avail of the different programs of OWA from social protection, educational and training benefits, reintegration, repatriation, and yung pang hindi pa po nakapag-membro ng OWA, those who are holders of work visas, who are employed here in the US and other Caribbean countries, just get in touch po sa OWA Washington DC, and also follow us on our Facebook page, OWA Washington DC, and also the MWO Washington DC po, and attend all our activities for our OFWs.
Thank you very much, Ma'am May. Hanggang sa susunod po.
Thank you, Miss Susan.
Salamat, ma'am. Si Welfare Officer May Codilla, mga kaibigan, mula po dito sa Migrant Workers Office ng Philippine Embassy mula sa Washington, D.C. Pero nandito kami ngayon sa Central Park ng New York, dito po sa Estados Unidos ng Amerika. At tatandaan po ninyo mga kababayan yung paalala ni Welfare Officer May sa ating mga kabayan, alamin ang mga batas, hindi po pwedeng akala natin ay basta lamang gustong gawin, yung pala bawal na. Yun po yung aming unang napag-usapan, may kinalaman nga diyan po sa issue ng child pornography. Alright. Ito po ang inyong Pilipinas Online Bantay OCW, hatid sa inyo ng Bantay OCW Foundation mula po sa Inquirer.net. Ako po si Susan K.